stone farmhouse. In some
Olá pessoal, sejam bem-vindos ao meu canal. Meu nome é Natália, mas você pode me chamar de Nath. Eu adoro reagir e aprender sobre outros países, especialmente aqueles bem diferentes do meu em termos culturais e econômicos. Então, se você gosta desse tipo de conteúdo, fica à vontade para se inscrever. Vou adorar ter você por aqui. Bom, nesse vídeo eu vou reagir a cada estilo de casa canadense explicado em 13 minutos. Então é isso, sem mais delongas, e vamos para a reação.
Indigenous. Long before European contact, Indigenous peoples constructed shelters adapted to local environments. On the West Coast, First Nations built cedar plank longhouses with massive timbers and intricately carved totem poles. In the plains, many communities used teepees of hides over wooden frames, easily moved to follow bison herds. Inuit in the far north fashioned igloos from compacted snow blocks, trapping heat in sub-zero conditions. Each design reflects a deep link between resources and climate. New France. French settlers along the St. Lawrence River built thick-walled maisons québécoises in stone or heavy timber, featuring steep roofs for snow and small windows to conserve heat. Interiors centered on a hearth under low ceilings with exposed beams. Sometimes a rear slope mimicked a saltbox form, but traced back to French traditions. These sturdy houses united Old World methods with colonial conditions.
Gente, estou com uma dúvida. Essas casas aqui de 1600, nesse estilo novo França, eles ainda existem no país de vocês? Me deixe saber aqui nos comentários, porque eu sei que tem países que têm casas muito velhas.
Maritime salt box. In coastal fishing towns of Nova Scotia, PEI, and Newfoundland, settlers brought salt box and Cape Cod blueprints from New England, then adapted them to Atlantic storms. Interiors commonly had low ceilings to trap heat, while corner fireplaces gave respite from howling gales. Brightly painted exteriors became a quirk in many fishing villages, both for aesthetic cheer and for easier visibility from the sea in thick fog. Loyalist vernacular. After the American Revolution, British Loyalists came to Ontario, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, erecting simple wood or brick homes, typically 1.5 stories tall. A central front door and minimal ornament defined exteriors. Subtle neoclassical flourishes like transom windows appeared over time, while verandas and shutters helped adapt British design to the Canadian climate. Georgian and Regency. In growing port cities like Halifax,
é muito curioso como realmente as janelas foram aumentando e tudo foi ficando mais sofisticado. Gente, eu acho a casa de vocês tão linda. Eu só vejo isso em filme, sabe? E assim, é difícil para mim acreditar que vocês vivem em casas assim.
Halifax or Montreal, wealthier Canadians favored formal homes shaped by British Georgian or Regency ideals. Facades stayed symmetrical, with multi-paned sash windows and masonry exteriors. Interiors gained higher ceilings, symmetrical layouts, and modest ornamentation. Later additions like sun porches helped in summer heat. Country homestead. In remote farmland or western plains, long, low homesteads used wide verandas and breezeways to handle hot summers and cold winters. Interiors were spacious yet plain, with large communal living areas and minimal decorative flourishes. Though strongly identified with Australia's outback, Canada has parallels in older ranch-like or farmstead homes on the prairies. Stone farmhouse. In some rural or small-town settings, farmers built houses of fieldstone or bluestone, creating thick walls with small windows. Interiors might expose the stone or plaster over it, with wooden beams. Though not a formal style name, these stone-built farmhouses add a historic heritage flavor in parts of Ontario or the Maritimes. Ontario cottage. A distinct Ontario subtype. A rectangular, 1.5-story structure with a central front door flanked by windows.
É muito diferente porque já foge bastante do outro padrão. Parece até que é uma casa menor, né?
Some show a small gable or dormer above that door. Interiors emphasize a front parlor and simple rear kitchen. This design bridged older loyalist layouts and later Victorian detail, reflecting local tastes. Victorian. Industrial expansion led to ornate Victorian forms.
Eu acho esse muito
Gothic
luxuoso.
revival had pointed arches, Italianate bracketed eaves, Second Empire mansard roofs. Row houses in cities boasted stained glass, carved wood trim, and cast iron details. Interiors featured tall ceilings, decorative plaster, bay windows, and ornate fireplaces, mirroring the era's grand style. Chateauesque. Unusual for everyday houses, Chateauesque rose to fame in Canada
Caramba.
through grand railway hotels like Chateau Frontenac. Inspired by French Renaissance chateaux, it features steep roofs, turrets, and elaborate dormers. Interiors often boast sweeping staircases and lavish ornament, blending English and French influences. Though rare for single-family homes, this style remains a hallmark of Canadian heritage at landmark hotels. Quebec urban cottages. In Montreal and beyond, working-class cottages or row houses used local stone, steep tin roofs, and exterior spiral staircases to upper flats. Interiors were compact, sometimes housing multiple families. Balconies and stairs made streets lively social spots, shaping neighborhood life.
Gente, eu quero fazer duas observações. Eu observo que a partir de um determinado período, as casas de vocês foram se tornando mais elegantes, no sentido que foi começado a colocar detalhes, né? Tipo, principalmente nesse estilo vitoriano. Mas quero fazer outra pergunta. Essas casas, né, desse estilo de Quebec, elas são juntas para ajudar no aquecimento? Deixe-me saber nos comentários, porque eu fiquei em dúvida sobre isso.
Prairie farmhouses. Homesteaders crossing the prairies often had to deal with relentless wind and extreme temperature swings. Sparse wood supplies sometimes forced them to improvise with sod or local stone before sawmills arrived. Cultural context varied too. Ukrainian or German immigrants might add distinctive folk art to doors or shutters. Over time, a sense of wide-open space came through in simpler house designs, bridging communal family living and the solitary frontier lifestyle. Edwardian. Bridging late Victorian and interwar design, Edwardian homes toned down ornate detailing, yet retained bay windows and moderate plaster trim. Interiors often included smaller fireplaces and simpler ceilings.
Olha aquele lugarzinho.
Found near city centers,
Muito
this style
aconchegante.
softened Victorian flourish as it leaned toward modern practicality. Canadian Square. Inspired by the American Foursquare, Canadian versions used brick or wood siding, forming a two-story box with a hipped roof. Interiors generally had 4 rooms on each floor, plus a wide front porch. This sturdy style connected Victorian embellishments and Craftsman influence, fitting middle-class families in smaller cities. Semi-detached, duplex, triplex. Distinct from single-family homes.
Esse já é bem diferente. Ele já se torna mais compacto, né? É curioso que a gente vai, conforme o tempo passa, as casas vão se tornando mais compactas em relação ao que era antes. Eu tenho essa sensação. Mas eu vejo que aqui também já é um material que parece um tijolo, não sei. Porque eu vejo que antes era muita madeira. Aqui no Brasil a gente usa muito cimento. Infelizmente não usamos muita madeira, embora na região sul, onde faz frio, casas de madeira sejam bem populares.
These multi-unit dwellings share at least one wall or floor. Semi-detached means 2 side-by-side units, while duplex or triplex stack units vertically. Common in cities like Montreal, they balance higher density with a house-like feel. Interiors might split each floor into separate flats or share certain areas.
As janelas são grandes.
Victorian
também.
row houses. Though similar era to other Victorian builds,
Isso é muito
many
diferente.
major cities like
Tem
Toronto
uma
or
ponta.
Halifax had entire terraces of attached homes. Toronto's bay and gable style displayed steep gables and projecting bay windows, while Montreal's used stone exteriors with wrought iron balconies. Interiors were tall and narrow,
Isso é
often
muito coisa de
subdivided
filme.
later. these tight-knit homes reflected rising urban density. Craftsman bungalow. Canadian suburbs embraced craftsman bungalows with low-pitched roofs, wide porches, and exposed rafters, adapted from the U.S. Interiors might show built-in shelving, stained glass side lights, and open dining living spaces. British Columbia favored cedar siding and deep eaves for heavy rain. These cozy, human-scale homes grew quickly in popularity. Art Deco. In Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, some houses or apartment blocks showed curving corners,
de tudo que eu já tinha visto. Mas isso é da década de 30 e década de 40. Nessa época você já tinham casas assim. Vocês são muito modernos.
Ornament, or stucco exteriors reflecting machine-age optimism. Interiors might include streamlined kitchens, pastel bathrooms, or chrome fittings. Though overshadowed by bungalows and war-era builds, these add a dash of 1930s glamour in specific neighborhoods. Prairie. Influenced by Frank Lloyd Wright, a few architects in Alberta or Saskatchewan built low-slung homes emphasizing horizontal lines echoing the plains. Interiors integrated built-in furniture, decorative glass, and broad windows. Though fewer than in the US, Prairie style retains a modest mid-century niche in Canada's central provinces. Post-war suburban. After World War II, housing shortages sparked large suburban developments. Bungalows or side-split designs, often brick veneer or asbestos siding, catered to returning veterans. Interiors prioritized small kitchens, living rooms, and bedrooms in a straightforward layout. This era's wide streets and car-centric planning ushered in Canada's modern suburban life. West Coast modern. Architects such as Arthur Erickson married international modernism with the breathtaking scenery of BC's mountains and ocean inlets. Homes embraced huge windows and open floor plans to capture forest or ocean vistas. A mild coastal climate allowed for expansive decks and minimal barriers between inside and out. This modern approach also suited the region's laid-back cultural mindset, attracting creative communities seeking harmony with the Pacific environment. Ranch. Borrowed from the US, ranch houses in Canada typically feature one-story layouts, elongated footprints, and attached garages. Interiors combine kitchen, dining, and living spaces for casual flow. Though overshadowed by bungalows in earlier Canadian suburbs, ranches still draw those seeking single-level convenience, especially in neighborhoods where land is more plentiful. Vancouver Special. A regional staple in Vancouver, the Special is a two-story rectangle with a low-pitched roof and prominent front balcony. Stucco or brick exteriors kept costs down, while interiors placed main living spaces upstairs, often renting out the lower floor. Critics of the plain exteriors disagreed with fans who admired their budget-friendly density on narrow city lots. Neo-Victorian. Suburban builders revived Victorian or Edwardian exteriors, adding turrets, lacework, or bay windows. Interiors might have angled kitchens, open family areas, or a front parlor. Though some found the nostalgic look charming, others considered it superficial. Regardless, these builds influenced many late 20th century suburbs with their backward glance to earlier aesthetics. McMansions.
Gente, o que me chama a atenção é que de todos esses tipos de casa, eu não vi nenhuma casa assim que parece... Como que eu vou dizer? Aqui no Brasil nós temos tipos de casa. Alguns tipos de casa são para pessoas mais pobres, outros para pessoas de classe média e outros de pessoas ricas. E elas são bem distantes, sabe? Um contraste entre elas são bem evidentes. E aqui eu não percebi isso. Todas essas casas que estão sendo mostradas são acessíveis para todas as pessoas? Tipo, era acessível, né, na época? Ou será se era mais focado em alguém que tinha mais dinheiro? Porque realmente todas as casas são muito bonitas. Aqui seria mansões.
Volume builders produced large, multi-gabled houses, mixing references from French chateaux to Tuscan villas. Interiors boasted two-story foyers, sprawling master suites, and multiple living areas, reflecting consumer-driven emphasis on space. Critics pointed to mismatched motifs and
Parece um
excessive
castelo
footprints,
mesmo.
while owners appreciated the prestige and roominess. Contemporary eco. Environmental concerns inspired custom homes with triple glazed windows, solar orientation, and low-impact materials like reclaimed timber or straw bales. Interiors favor open plans, high ceilings, and abundant natural light. Architects may add living roofs, water recycling, or advanced insulation, fitting modern green goals to Canada's diverse climate. Tiny and laneway. Skyrocketing real estate prices in major cities spurred demand for creative
Isso é
housing
muito
forms like
pequeno.
laneway suites or tiny homes. Beyond affordability, these dwellings resonate with eco-conscious values: smaller footprints, clever storage, and potential for solar or off-grid living. Culturally, they reflect a shift from sprawling suburbs toward walkable neighborhoods and sustainable minimalism, appealing to young professionals and downsizers alike.
Uau!
Infill revival. In older neighborhoods, single large lots get subdivided for multiple row houses or modern townhomes. Designers rely on bold contemporary lines, broad windows, and eco-friendly features while keeping consistent heights or materials with historical streetscapes. Interiors incorporate open living dining areas and advanced heating or solar-based systems, blending modern style with heritage settings. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.
Gente, olha, vou dizer que eu fiquei realmente surpresa em descobrir que o Canadá tem tantos estilos de casa assim. Eu não tinha ideia disso. Aqui no Brasil, nós temos alguns tipos de casa, mas eu não acho que são assim tantas como vocês canadenses têm. E o que mais me surpreende é que todos os estilos são muito, muito bonitos. E houve claramente uma evolução, né? Vocês tinham muitas casas de madeira e vejo que agora tem muito vidro e casas com tijolos também. Isso é realmente interessante, acho que reflete muito das mudanças, né, que vão ocorrendo no país. Aqui no Brasil, a gente tem alguns estilos novos que têm chegado muito de fora, especialmente aquelas casas menores. Porém, aqui eles agora estão colocando que esse conceito de estúdio, de casas menores, é mais caro, né? Era para ser uma coisa barata, mas muitas pessoas imobiliárias estão visando uma forma de lucrar com isso. Então, realmente, eu fiquei surpresa em saber que vocês têm muitos, muitos estilos de casa. Mas, bom, essa foi a minha reação. Eu espero que você tenha gostado desse vídeo. Se você gostou, considere se inscrever. Vou adorar ter você por aqui. E se você já for inscrito, não esquece de ativar as notificações. Então é isso, obrigada por assistir esse vídeo. Nos vemos na próxima reação. Tchau!